What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the HSN Podcast. I'm here with Johnny and Michael, and my Calgary Flames just got absolutely destroyed by the Ottawa Senators 5 minutes ago, and I'm not feeling too great. How are your boys this week? Because mine's been pretty bad hockey-wise.
Same,
This guy
Adam.
goes
Same.
to our week. But we could stay on Calgary, though.
Same.
Yeah, me and Johnny have had a tough time, but at least Vancouver's giving it to Winnipeg right now.
Yeah, that's helping out the
give us a
playoff
little
push.
hope.
I think Vancouver's too far gone. They're like Ottawa right now. I think that any of their wins against like Winnipeg, Edmonton, or whoever, like Ottawa's win was good for Montreal. So sorry about that, Adam.
No, I don't really care, honestly. I've just become a full-time golf fan now. I'm done with the NHL, honestly. F1 is back in better news soon.
Adam doesn't care about the Battle of Alberta. He cares about the Al Palmer event.
Arnold Palmer.
Arnold, my bad. See.
What did you say, Johnny? Mike?
Al Palmer.
Oh.
Al Palmer. I mean, close. You got the
yeah.
what's it
I
called?
knew it was the Palmer, but I didn't know the first name. Okay, so Michael, we'll start with you. How was the Leafs week?
I mean, it's been a busy week, but I'm gonna try and remember. We versed Edmonton. It was Calgary, right? The 2 games against Calgary. We had a lot of injuries this week. That's one thing. So considering that, I really liked how we played. Could have used a bit more goal scoring. Obviously, against Calgary, we only scored 2 goals in 2 games. First one we got shut out. 0-7
Big save Dave,
Dave
baby.
played pretty good. 0-7, I think, on the power play that game. I think 4. I don't even know the next game. Like, it was brutal, the power play. I don't know what was going on.
Nah, we killed 13 straight power plays or something.
Yeah, they were pretty solid defensively. I think it was a really structured game from both teams.
Yeah, Calgary has so much structure. our structure is fucking crumbling.
I love how they shut down the Leafs power play, then Ottawa's power play lit them up.
4 goals. No,
series.
3 goals. Yeah, 3 goals on fucking 4 power plays last game. Not the game that we just played. The game before.
Amazing.
That. Oh my god, dude, we're awful.
Michael, just before you joined, Adam thinks this is the end of Jeff Ward.
Yeah, he's gone. Tomorrow morning, BT's coming on, and he's like, "Yeah, Wardo, get the fuck out of here." He's
Dude,
out.
he has to be. They've been blown out now to Ottawa like twice.
Blown out to Ottawa twice.
Really,
the last 5. Well, I mean, on
Well,
the score.
5-1, but empty net. Yeah,
It's 5-1 now.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Was the 5th an empty netter or on big save?
I don't even know, honestly.
The
I wanna
4th
see this,
was.
but yeah.
Why? When did you stop at watching, Adam?
Oh, I
4-1.
turned it off as soon as the puck was about to go in the net for the empty.
Oh.
I was like, all right, screw this. Let's get on the podcast.
I think the 4th was. I don't know what happened.
Oh,
with
the 5th one was on big save Dave.
Yikes. Yeah, it's over. Yeah, moving on. We'll talk about the Claude
Maybe the
Julien
team that had
firing.
the most interesting week, Montreal.
Yeah.
I know we lost twice to Ottawa, but like in a grand scheme of things, I just look at that as we went 1-1 because we got 2 points. So it's like we won 1, lost 1, technically point-wise. Winnipeg, then we took 1 point. That was just bad. Though Saturday Winnipeg game, we absolutely dominated. We just couldn't solve Hellebuck. And then 3-on-3, Ducharme tried something, didn't work. I mean, he's a first-time NHL coach. I don't blame him. He tried to get Deneau and Armia out there to win the face-off, and then he was going to throw on Suzuki and Druin against the 3 forwards. We just didn't win the face-off. But Michael, me and Adam already gave our thoughts on the Julien firing, so now you can give yours because you didn't join the video.
I don't have too much to say. I know it's been coming because even last year I know people were calling for his head, and then obviously with a good start, you would think that that's put away, but then they had another rough patch, and obviously Bergevin has probably seen that before, and Julien was there for what, 5 years. Bergevin's been there for a long time, so not much you could really change. Bergevin has done all he basically could do to change the team. So, he had to do something. It's a short season, and Ducharme's a good coach. He's took a long road to get to where he is now, so he definitely deserves it. He was good in the World Juniors. That's where I saw his coaching style most. But yeah, we'll see how it works out.
I mean, he's a new generation of coaches, kind of like Keith and stuff that like force the analytics, all about like puck possession, stuff like that. I kind of already seen it in the 2 games. He seems like the team's heading in the right direction, but I feel bad for him. Like, he's in a tough situation he's trying to literally change the way we play from Julien, where it was like you dump in. Now he's trying to make us keep the puck. And every practice, there's been like 20 minutes at the end of practice where he's just sat there with like the whiteboard drawing stuff out. And I think Alex Burrows just told him to forget everything that Kirk Miller told him on the power play, because the power play was brutal. And now same with like I said with Ducharme, Burrows is like spending 10 minutes every practice drawing out what to do and stuff. And he's already changed the power play units that have looked better. We scored in the first game on the power play, which we hadn't done in like the last 20 attempts before that. So that was positive.
Just for context, though, where did Burrows even come from? Because I didn't even know he was a part of the organization.
He got hired, I want to say beginning of last season, to be an assistant coach in Laval.
So he was the assistant.
He got promoted from within, yeah. And then because Ducharme was an assistant, we went from 3 assistants down to 2, because we had Ducharme, Miller, and Richardson, and now we just have Richardson and Burrows. But I think in the long run this will be beneficial. I think Ducharme's gonna get to become our head coach permanently. I don't know. I feel confident, but
because he speaks French.
Well, that's the biggest thing. But also like
the biggest.
We eliminate 90% of the poll. Like, I don't know who else you're gonna get unless you're waiting for Alain Vigneault to get fired from Philly. But
wasn't he already the coach once?
Yeah, that's why he replaced Julien the second time around. But the North Division's changing constantly. I know we had our preseason predictions, and I think Adam would like to change Winnipeg out of 7. So who are the 4 teams that you think make it out of the North now that we've seen over a third of the season?
I'll go first because I haven't really talked much. I think it's just going to stay how it is. I don't see Calgary bouncing back in time. It's going to probably be Leafs, Habs first round, Edmonton, and Winnipeg the 2-3. That's how I see it.
I agree. I was going to say that too, but like Calgary's right there, so it's up, and Montreal's also doing bad right now, so it's between those two. They got a race for it.
I think that 2-game swing, Calgary-Montreal, is going to tell a lot, especially if Montreal loses tomorrow to Ottawa. Because I think we play you guys when? Not this week, coming up, obviously.
We play you next week, I think, because I know we go Ottawa, Winnipeg twice, Vancouver twice, and I think you twice.
Right. So I don't know. Depending on how our games pan out and your games pan out, that could be like some big points on the board. But I don't see Montreal slipping out of the playoffs, to be honest with you.
I think if anyone slips out, maybe this is some Hab bias. No, I don't even think Winnipeg. I think Edmonton.
Really?
I don't know. Like, I think up until Mike Smith played like Jesus, they weren't doing that good.
Right.
Mike Smith went 6-0
in his first games.
Do you think Mike Smith's going to keep that up?
No. He's gonna decline. But do you really think Calgary, if they keep the same system, same lines?
That's the thing. I don't know.
Like, do you really think they can overthrow a team right now?
Maybe I don't think Edmonton will miss, but I don't think Edmonton's current hot streak will be like sustainable. Like, I think they're gonna have a rough patch at the start of the season again.
I can see a McDavid versus Matthews first round, and Winnipeg finishing 2, and then Montreal finishing 3. I don't know. It's still up in the air. I think it's too early.
It changes every week. Like,
yeah,
I think 2 weeks ago Montreal was a lock to come second, if not first, at that point.
And now they're not even a lock for the playoffs.
Now like you could argue they're not a lock for the playoffs. Like, I don't know. No. Yeah, they're not a lock right now. They're 4th. Yeah. But the biggest thing Montreal has is, I think, in the division they have the least games played. So they have games in hand on everyone. Like, I think point percentage we're ahead of Edmonton.
Yeah, but a 3-game win streak for one team is another is a 3-game losing streak for another, because
it's like we were talking
2 3-game seasons. So say Calgary wins 2 out of 3 games, or both games against Montreal, that's an 8-point swing.
Yeah, it's this season. It's not like before where like Boston would be 6 points ahead of Montreal, and like that's tough to overcome. Like, you got to rely on other teams. Literally, you get one good swing and
you win 5 in a row. You're probably jumping to second place in the division.
Even like, I know we joke about them, but Vancouver's beating Winnipeg 3-0 right now, and then they play again tomorrow. If Vancouver can do a regulation sweep, that's an 8-point swing for them in Winnipeg. Like, that will claw them kind of back in.
Division, like the way it's set up, just this whole year, it's like,
and there's only 7 teams too, not 8, right? So you have to
like the games played matters, but you can catch up quick.
Right.
But I'm saying, like, the fact that like Montreal has games in hand is a good thing, because they can catch up. Like, if the Leafs beat Edmonton tonight, which I actually kind of hope for Montreal's sake, because at this point we're not catching the Leafs.
Yeah, same.
We would be 5 points back with 4 games in hand.
Yeah, like, so that's easily overcome.
That can be overcome. But yeah, like, I think the only team you can write off. Actually, maybe not because they're winning, but I think you can write off Ottawa for playoffs.
I think you can write off Ottawa. I think you can almost write off Calgary before you write off Vancouver if they keep the same lineup and make no changes. Because I'm literally just on Twitter right now seeing if Jeff Ford actually gets fired right now, which is obviously not going to happen. But a man can dream. But I'm looking at.
I think you're stuck with him till the end of the season, Adam. I don't think BT has the cojones that Marc Bergevin has.
Mm-hmm. But we just can't score.
I think BT's gone in the summer too, though. Like if
BT's gone,
I think Bergevin's gone in the summer too. If we don't make the playoffs,
I think if you guys get bounced first round,
I think Ducharme was his last bullet to fire.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm very interested to see because I think Elliot Friedman said it, or was one of the insiders, Elliot Friedman or Pierre LeBrun said, owners this year that aren't like a real contending team have voiced to GMs already that they're not willing to take on contracts to like make a push. So I'm very interested to see if Jeff Molson, who spent $102 million in the offseason, it's the most by like $50 million out of any team, I'm willing to see if he lets Bergevin make a big trade deadline trade.
No, too risky. Especially if you guys are on the fringe, there's no way. Especially because you guys spent so much. Like that's why I have no hope for Calgary if they stay in 5th place to make a push at the last 15 games of the season. Because if you go out and get Philip Forsberg, then win 6 of your last 15 games and miss the playoffs, like holy fuck, it just got dark in my room. my light turned off. If you do that, it's like that investment's gone. BT's gone. There's going to be change in the off season. And it's just gonna make things even more confusing for management. Like I feel like if Montreal like really starts to pick it up and then goes to the deadline on a hot streak, maybe second in the division, I don't know, maybe they go for Sam Bennett to add some playoff grit, but I don't see a big fucking move.
I don't know. Well, you're right about that thing right before the deadline. Like how you enter the deadline is important. Like Michael, like remember last year, the last game the Leafs played before the deadline last year was the David Ayres game. And some people like in the media had thought like that was a game that and the Leafs had struggled into that game that kind of deterred Dubas from making any big moves in the like deadline because he didn't know like if a move would help the team that much. Right. But I think Montreal would make a move. I think Bergeron would make a move if he could. I
think you have to understand where the league is financially as well as teams are financially. And you just mentioned that Jeff Molson spent $102 million on a team that's underperforming right now. I mean, we can all agree that they're underperforming from the start of the season. But I don't see how you can throw more money into a player. Say you bring somebody on with like a $6-7 million contract for a couple years. If there's even anybody else,
I think it would be a rental.
You think? You go out and get Kyle Palmieri. What the hell is he going to do?
No, like I don't know. Like I think it would be like
it's long term.
I'm joking, Sally. I think like Montreal would look at Taylor Hall on a retained salary from Buffalo.
They have to retain 50% minimum.
It depends what goes back. Like
what's going to go back?
If you traded
somebody on an expiring contract that has to go back.
Yeah,
that's done this year.
If you traded for Forsberg, I think Tatar would be sent in the trade.
Right.
Ideally to no, but I don't think they take the no.
They won't take the no.
Anyone could take the no at this point. Like
the no for Bennett, 1 for 1.
You know how mad his agent probably is that he turned down $30 million? He's not going to sniff that now. No, Montreal's going to sign him on an absolute bargain, and he's going to be at 3C next year.
Who, Johnny Bennett?
No.
Oh.
We're going to sign him on an absolute bargain for the 3C.
He's going to regret declining that.
Yeah, anyways, let's move on. The LA Kings have been a pretty good story in the NHL right now, but they lost their last 2 games. So we want to see. We're asking the question like who's going to make the playoffs in that division, because there's kind of a lot of wild cards right now. The Wild are first in the division. LA's making a push, and it's kind of like all over the place. And I know 2 of us, or might have all 3 of us, had San Jose making the playoffs. And that's
I think just me and you.
Okay, well, that's not very likely anymore. So, Michael, who do you have coming out of the Western Conference or the Western Division? The four teams.
I think I just got to go with my original 4. I didn't have LA. I think I had Minnesota at 4, and then who is it? Vegas, Colorado, and St. Louis.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think we can all agree Vegas, Colorado, St. Louis are locks, and then
it's really
St. the 4 spot. Who do you think will get in the 4 spot?
I think it has to be Minnesota at this point.
I think Minnesota is a good show because, as we talked about with owners not want to spend money, the LA GM already said they're not going to be buyers at the deadline. They're just going to stay on course with the rebuild, and if they get in this year, they get in. If they don't, they don't.
Which makes sense.
Which I think is the attitude that most teams should have. to be honest.
I think, just touch on the last one quickly, like I think Montreal and Toronto would be okay with spending money because they have really wealthy owners that like can burn money at this point.
Right.
I think MLSC especially. Toronto's gonna be a big buyer at the deadline, I feel, because they're at the point where they don't care about a 14-day quarantine.
That's true. I wonder who they go after, but
we've been in the talk. Apparently, we're interested in Raquel. I'd want him. I think he would fit pretty good.
I've wanted Calgary
Raquel for Nylander, Michael.
No chance. He only makes like 3.5. I'm pretty sure though. So if you retain a bit and I don't know,
I really want you guys to get bounced in the first round so we can trade for Nylander in the summer. Oh, that'd be amazing.
He's not going anywhere.
You think?
If we get bounced, okay, I can't say it, but I don't think
if you get bounced, somebody has to go. Maybe even two.
I don't know. Marner's play. Honestly, at the beginning I said I'd rather trade Marner than Nylander, but he's been amazing this year.
You can't trade Marner. You cannot trade Marner after the season he's having. You can't trade.
I think it has to be Nylander just by like default. If I'm not saying they would, but if they traded one of the before, I think it's Nylander by default.
Yeah.
Right. And you don't think they're going to get a really good player in return?
No, they would get someone.
They obviously will. So I don't think
Nylander's biggest asset now. Like it was joked about when it was signed, but it's that contract now is like a pretty good contract.
That's an amazing contract.
Yeah.
I always see Adam liking tweets on Twitter about.
I know Adam. Like I don't see anyone else's likes except you. Like every time you like a tweet, it's there. I'm like, Jesus. That's why I feel like I follow Sea of Red.
Yeah. Great community.
Enough about the Leafs bouncing in the first round, though. We can't. We're not Sportsnet and TSN over here.
I mean, me and Johnny are dying for that moment that you guys get bounced, and if it's in the first round, even better.
I don't know. I think
we'll smoke a few cigars to that one for sure.
It's not happening, boys.
I think the Leafs season's been amazing so far, but like they can come first in the division by 100 points. It doesn't matter. What's going to matter is that first round and that second round.
Oh, I hope they play Edmonton and McDavid just has an absolute like.
I said it to Michael. I said it to Michael on Saturday, and he got mad. Not mad, but he argued me. I feel like Winnipeg would be a tough round for them to get by.
I don't even remember talking about that.
I can see that.
Yeah, I wonder why, but like
you're pretty sloshed.
I said like because I think Winnipeg behind like a solid Hellebuck, their top six is really good as well. We'll get into that later.
Probably, yeah.
And the decor, like that's been pretty decent this year, all things considering. I think Winnipeg would be the toughest out for Toronto right now. In the first round, like they wouldn't want Winnipeg to slip to 4. Because I think them and the Oilers would just be a shootout every game.
Yeah.
So we all pretty much agree, though, that it's Minnesota getting back on track to
playoff Mike Smith, though, Johnny.
Oh,
buddy.
You have to remember, though, last year when he was bad, that was play in Mike Smith.
There you go. It's not playoff Mike Smith, so
it was play in.
All right, let's move on.
So, I think it was TSN started the debate of who has the best top 6 forwards in the NHL. And they listed like Toronto, Winnipeg. I think Vegas was listed, Colorado. I can't remember. There was another team.
Has to be Boston in there too.
Maybe Boston. First line, I'd say Boston. I don't know about top 6. Their second line's a little weaker.
Maybe.
But Michael, who do you think has the best top 6? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I'd gotta say the Leafs probably. Just your 4 out of 6 are, I would say, star players. I'd consider Nylander a star. So, and then if you throw Hyman in there, that's like potential 30 goal scorer.
He's a 30 goal scorer with the people he is around him.
No, he's actually a really good player. I'd say he's the most underrated on our team.
No, I like him. But on any other team, he's scoring 15 to 20 goals.
Yeah, but okay, not even just goals aside. He's just a really good player. Like
no, he is. He's a good two-way guy. I like Hyman's game a lot. I'm gonna stay in Canada and say the Winnipeg Jets. I mean, Ehlers, Connor, Scheifele, Wheeler, and those guys, Dubois too. But is he even? He is playing on the second line, right?
He's playing left.
He haven't played
Winnipeg
recently, bro. Their first line is
really
Scheifele, Wheeler, Dubois on the left.
That's insane. Yeah, it's got to be Winnipeg for me.
I said I could see him moving left wing when they traded for him because Stastny was playing good.
And, at least till Stastny's out of there, I think he stays on that first line.
Yeah, and he's a good winger. He played winger at the beginning of his career too.
Right now he's there, they said, because he had the quarantine, obviously, and then he came back and got injured because he just got thrown into the second line center role. So this time they're easing him back in, they said, on left wing, and then they'll probably move him back. But one thing I got to say about Paul Maurice, that like I don't think I've seen any other team do. The last 2 overtimes, this guy started 3 forwards.
Yeah, we've done it too. I think
I
it's
haven't
pretty.
seen that.
It's more common than you think.
Michael, have you seen that? I've seen the Leaf put 4 forwards on a power play in OT, but I've
Yeah,
never seen.
I don't think we've
3,
done
like,
it 3-on-3. It's smart though.
I know we've done it a couple
it's
times.
smart if you win the face-off.
Smart if you win the face-off, but if you don't win, then I think all 3 gotta play all 3 have to come back, and then once you get possession, you either keep the 3 or you get a defenseman on.
See, I think both times Winnipeg did it, they won the face-off, came down and scored right away. So I'd be interested to see if they do lose the face-off, if the guy that like lines up right next to the bench just darts and jumps off.
Imagine.
Because then if he did that, it would be a 3-on-2, which isn't that dangerous.
I mean, a 3-on-3, it's pretty dangerous. You have so much room to throw it back.
But you gotta think, would you want to be
up.
hemmed in with 3 forwards, really?
I mean, it depends who the forwards are. You put Dubois over there. He's a pretty good 2-way guy. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
3-on-3 is hard to tell because
if he's showing effort, not like the shift that got him out of Columbus.
That was an amazing shift.
Oh, I mean, damn! I wish like half the Calgary Flames would do that to get them the hell out of there.
Jeff Ward has that kind of game. You wish.
Jeff Ward sucks.
Adam, I just want to ask you, what happened in this Calgary warm-up?
Oh, they were all getting sloshed the night before.
Like, what was that? My dad walked upstairs to ask me what this was about.
You can't even practice right.
I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you guys what I think that is off camera. I don't want to incriminate myself.
It's amazing.
They're like the season's done. Let's just have fun now.
Yeah. It's over.
How many years does Lucic have?
3 more, 2 more. Hey, if he plays like this, I don't mind.
He's been better, honestly.
And I
think Neil's worse at this point.
No, way worse. I think if we this year, if we don't make the playoffs, we're gonna blow it up. A couple years of rebuilding. By the time we're competitive again, his contract will be done. So I just really hope that we don't give up like a Zari or Pelletier for a rental. Like, not even a rental. Like, I don't want to give away any of our youth for a Forsberg or I don't know, maybe Forsberg. Forsberg's an exception, but anybody other than that, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. This team is so.
I would trade like someone on the roster. So like the Noah Tatar, what's his name? A first round pick and something else for Forsberg. I would do that this year. No questions asked.
I don't know who Calgary would trade,
because our left side, apart from Julian this year, has been like we moved the Foley to the left. We can move the Foley back to the right. I would get the no out and just call up Paling for the 3C.
Yeah, maybe.
Calgary is in a tough position because it's like what Adam said. Like, you could rebuild, but also you could also be one Forsberg away from just being a completely different team.
Well, I mean, I think you can argue that our 18-19 team was one piece away from being like a true contender. Because, I mean, if you say you do have Forsberg on that 18-19 team that absolutely dominated the entire NHL, 50 wins, like, that's insane. Other than the record-breaking season from Tampa Bay, that
different conference though. So
yeah, it could easily be a President's Cup trophy-winning team, though, is what I'm trying to argue. You have Forsberg on that team. Like, I don't think Thing should have beat us in the first place, the Avalanche, but
we joke about Toronto like chokes in the first round. That was bad, Adam.
That was the biggest choke ever.
That was bad.
That was horrible. But like, yeah, we were Forsberg away. I think one piece, one top six right.
You did nothing that deadline, right?
No, dude. We did absolutely squat.
I remember we watched together, but I don't remember you guys.
We did nothing. I think we got like, who do we get? Got some bottom six guy. I forgot who it was, honestly, but
the only trade Montreal made that deadline was we traded Michael Chapeau for like Jordan Wheel.
And Wheel actually was not that bad.
Yeah,
year after so.
First season, you got 10 points in 13 games. Got signed to a contract. Now he's in the AHL.
Yeah, poor guy. But yeah, I don't know. Let's move on though to preview the next week for our teams. Actually, Johnny, you didn't give your top six.
I said Winnipeg as well. I think Toronto has the 4-star players, but I think Winnipeg has a more balanced top six.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Like I think 1 to 6 is more balanced than Toronto has the fall off. I think after 5, obviously. I mean after 4, but I think it's pretty even. But since we still have a bit of time, actually, we can just, since we did it for the North and West, we might as well just The Central, I think we can all agree. Florida, Tampa, Carolina are going to make it. Who do you think gets the 4th spot in the Central?
Definitely not Dallas.
Chicago, Dallas.
I'm
don't like
gonna
Dallas
say
at all.
Chicago with the play of Patrick Kane.
I think Dallas can turn it around though.
I still think they can too, but I don't know.
If-
I really want to see Chicago make it.
I want to see Chicago make it too,
They
but like the Dallas games in hand are like I said,
Yeah.
with Montreal, they have
5
like,
or 6 games.
yeah, they have like 6 in hand on everyone, so
Mhm.
they get
They've
hot.
also lost like 6 out of the last 7, so they have to get hot.
But they haven't played in so long that like
And
was
it's going to be based on point percentage, like
in
you can
that
almost
division,
get
100%.
division. So
Mhm.
they're like 500 right now, so it's not that bad.
I think we can agree that Detroit, Nashville, and Columbus are out.
Yeah.
Columbus has been bad recently.
Horrible. They're in a
I-
worse situation than Calgary, and Calgary's in a bad
I
situation.
feel bad for Domi. I think I sent it to Michael. Like Columbus is turning on the guy already.
Yeah, it's been pretty horrible.
Like a reporter tweeted like Domi's made some nice passes today. ... to Nashville, like a verified reporter.
Some verified reporters don't give two shits.
Yeah, like
though,
I just
what they say.
like this. Then I read the comments and like people are just ripping the guy. One guy's like he's gonna be in the KHL next year. Like the poor guy's on the 4th line right wing. Like I don't know what the hell Tortorella is doing there.
Under Torts. Soon they'll
Yeah.
start turning on Line. I don't know. I actually haven't been keeping up if he's been doing good or not.
I think
but
they should be sellers.
All right, let's do something a bit different here to wrap it up. One team you wish your team does, or something you wish from your team in the coming week. So this week, what do you wish your team accomplishes? What do you like? What's like your team's biggest wish?
That we
Michael,
actually
go.
go on a win streak.
Michael, what's your wish for this week?
This is hard. Let's
You
see.
might not
I
have
want-
any wishes.
I want TJ Brody. I know there's not many for a first place team, but I want
Nah.
TJ Brody to score. This guy's 0 goals.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, I need him to get his first as a Leaf.
He
He's been
doesn't have
playing
a goal?
unreal though. Dude, did
No,
you
I
see
know,
his
he's
assist
all
the other
defense
night?
this year.
His assist on the Spezza goal, Adam. Did you see it?
That
Dude,
Jones
I
goal was
I miss
dirty.
Brody. Yeah, it was. Okay, Johnny,
good
what's
with-
your?
He's
what's
good with
your-
his stick.
Yeah, he's
apart from actually winning some games, I hope we trade for Philip Forsberg.
Yeah,
That's what I
this
want.
week. This week.
Well, like whenever, but like that's what I want. I want Philip Forsberg.
Okay, I mean,
Even
my
Eric
wish was
Stahl.
gonna.
I wouldn't mind Eric Stahl.
Yeah, that's
If
not
you
bad.
trade Deneau, I wouldn't mind trading some picks for Eric Stahl to fill the 3C.
I mean, I'm hoping that I have like a genie come to me because I need 3 wishes. 1, Jeff Ward, bye-bye. 2, Brad Treliving actually makes a move. And then 3 is kind of correspondent. I want them to try, if they win a couple games this week, maybe next week, if they go on a little bit of a streak, maybe win 3 in a row, get closer to the deadline. I want to see them go for Philip Forsberg without giving up too much future. I think Philip Forsberg on a first line with Lindholm and Goudreau would be.
Do you have any
Pretty insane.
untouchable prospects in Calgary?
I want to say Peltier's untouchable. I would argue that Zari's like pretty on the fence. Like maybe we could. I don't know if you trade a first round pick that easily. I think Matthew Phillips could go, even as much as I like him. I'm not really sure what other prospects are very tempting, but I'd get rid of our first and second round pick for this season in
Yeah.
a heartbeat. Like goodbye. We'll probably get a steal in the 3rd or 4th round of the draft, like we always do. Mangiapane, Dubé, Anderson. BT's good at drafting late, so I'm not too worried about that.
Not even BT, that's the scouts. But
I mean,
yeah,
BT has a decision. I mean our management. Like that's the only thing we've done good recently is drafting. From Matthew Tkachuk onwards. I mean, not many misses.
I would trade any prospect Montreal has except Cole Caulfield. That's the only guy that's untouchable.
That's your only untouchable?
I would be fine. I would stomach trading anyone else. I wouldn't want to trade Gooley, but I could stomach that for like Forsberg.
Would you rather trade
I wouldn't be able to stomach. I wouldn't even be able to stomach Zari or Pelletier for Forsberg, honestly.
Caulfield or Kotkaniemi, Johnny?
Well, Kotkaniemi's not a prospect.
I know, but if you had to trade the 2 biggest pieces that they would be in a trade talk.
No, I think you're underestimating the value of like some of Montreal's other pieces. Like I know Nashville wants to rebuild, but I think they need like a roster player back for sure.
I wouldn't trade Kotkaniemi or Caulfield.
I don't think Suzuki's going anywhere, so it would have to be like
No,
Kotkaniemi
for
or-
Forsberg.
No, dude, you can trade
Not
to
for
borrow a
Forsberg,
first
but-
round pick and a B
But for
prospect.
who? Like it's not like they're gonna trade for like. There's no real big names available.
Yeah, that's
Like when
true.
Mark Stone was available 2 years ago.
And that Calgary was in on him to the very end, and then
Did you hear?
Wait, that
I
was
heard
the guy-
I heard the reason that Calgary didn't get him.
he
Or,
vetoed
like
it.
I read it on Twitter. Not that he vetoed it. He Valimaki was involved, And Calgary didn't want to send Valimaki because they couldn't get Stone to commit to a deal. He was just going to perhaps be a rental.
Yeah, he didn't want to. That's what I meant by veto. He was like, I don't know if I'll sign long term.
Yeah, and they didn't want to like risk Valimaki, but
he's our next Giordano, hopefully.
But yeah, I think Adam, you said Forsberg would be over. Imagine Stone that year,
dude. If we got Stone Cup, I would have been chanting that to my grave that we win.
You gotta like when you're close, you just gotta send it as a GM. Like the last time Montreal, I could say was like one piece away was the year we traded for Vanek. And we sent like a pretty highly rated prospect and like 2 seconds for Vanek. And the prospect became a bust. And I don't think they drafted anything with the 2 seconds. And Vanek was huge getting us to the conference final.
If we got Mark Stone and actually signed him to a thing, we'd be competitive for the next from that year on to maybe like 2023, 2024.
Can't even remember the guy's name we traded.
At this point, it's like, being a Calgary Flames fan sucks, dude.
Look at Julian Breezeball last year. Traded 2 firsts for Goudreau and on one team Goudreau, on another team Coleman. And it was like, what the hell are you doing? But they turned out to work out good.
Yeah, when you're close, like the Leafs this year, they should just send it.
I'd say, but it depends what the piece is coming the other way. If you even need to give up a first, but I'd give it up, no problem. The situation we're in.
If I was you guys, I would trade for someone that can, like, as a solid forward for the left wing spot on the Tavares line, and then that way you can move Hyman down. And you get a third line of like Hyman, Kerfoot, and Mikheyev, which would just be a nasty checking line.
Mikheyev is so good, dude. Every time I watch this guy play, he's getting scoring chances.
He just can't finish for the life of him.
Johnny called him dust the other night.
Yeah, I called him dust because he can't finish for the life of him.
He's kind of dust, but
he's unreal.
He literally dominates. You can't take the puck off of him.
I said he's unreal. Him on off the puck, but he's just dust.
Yeah, can't score a PK goal, dude. Adam against Calgary, he had like 4 in the 2 games. He had at least 5 good chances.
In one power play, one of our power plays, he had 3 scoring chances, like high danger scoring chances.
2 breakaways and a 1-timer.
Okay, I'm more and more convinced now that Calgary's shaking up this week because I just read that we lost 7 of our last 10 games. I didn't even realize that's how bad we've been.
7-8, buddy, for us. Oof. But there's like 4 OT losses. It's 4 OT losses in there.
It's Philip Forsberg time. It's Philip Forsberg time.
Well, Pagnotta said that Montreal and Calgary were in on him, but BT's in on everyone, so I don't care about that.
BT's been on everybody on everybody since he's been GM. Like he's been on every single player. When do you not hear BT's name in on a Hall, like signing Hall? We're like, oh yeah, Calgary's in on Hall. Calgary's in on this.
I swear Bergevin is too though, but like they never make a push. I swear.
Bergevin. I think the thing is Bergevin and BT, like what LeBron said a couple times, like Bergevin and BT, they call teams like every couple of days. Mm-hmm. So I think they always I think when Dubois went available, obviously Bergevin's going to check it out, but you weren't matching Line. Not even Calgary had pieces to match Line.
No, we would have to trade like Lindholm and something.
Yeah, you're trading someone on your roster, and how much better are you getting at that point? Like the Columbus Jets trade just made so much sense for both teams.
It did.
But before we wrap up, Adam, I saw it was the anniversary of one of the funniest things I've ever seen in the NHL. That it didn't end up happening, but when you guys offer sheeted Ryan O'Reilly,
baby,
you would have had to give up 2 firsts or something like that, or first and a second.
I don't know.
But then if Colorado didn't match it, he had to go through waivers. Yeah. So a team would have claimed him. That will forever be one of the best things. Who was that? Feaster or whatever his name is?
Yeah. Jay Feaster or whatever his name.
Yeah, that was amazing. Yeah. I just remember like in grade 6 hearing about that, and I was like, that's amazing.
Yeah, Calgary's a shit show, dude. I hate being a Flames fan sometimes.
So like we do every week.
1.
Yeah.
Adam had them like going.
Adam was so high. But
yeah.
What do you guys? How many points do you think your team's gonna take this week? Michael, you can start from from this Edmonton game on.
Yeah, because I don't even know if we said what time it is, but
it's on right now. I can hear it in the next room.
Yeah, we got to go then, but we got to win this game. Hutchison, baby. And I don't even know, honestly, who we play the rest of the week. I haven't even looked. I think Winnipeg. I think we might go.
No, we play Winnipeg Thursday, Saturday, so that's impossible.
Maybe it's Vancouver. I don't even
know. I think you guys have some time off, though. You guys haven't had a break.
If they play Vancouver, that's dubs.
I think we play back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. I just don't know who it is, but I'm not worried, honestly. I'm like, I like how we're playing, injuries, whatever. We're getting.
How can you be worried? You're first in the league. Okay, move on. Johnny.
Quickly before we move on, if for whatever reason Campbell and Anderson don't come back, and you do have the back-to-back Wednesday, Thursday. I just checked. Would you go Wall on Thursday against Vancouver?
Yeah, dude, I'd for sure. I would have gave him a game by now already.
I'd put David Ayres in that, honestly.
Well, he's the real big save, Dave.
For real.
Montreal has 3 games this week. 4 points, I'll be happy, but we need all 6 because the 2 against Winnipeg, we need to get at least 3 out of 4.
Mhm.
Tomorrow against Ottawa is a must-win. Like,
Yeah,
the first
they're
2
hot though.
But the first 2 Deschamps games, like, I've been like, okay, like, we played good. Like, I can see the signs of improvement.
Mhm.
Winnipeg's a good team, whatever. But if we lose to Ottawa, I'm going to be pissed. Also, he hasn't named a starting goalie yet for tomorrow, which is causing some goalie controversy in Montreal.
I was just gonna say Price needs to get back on track because he's been pretty awful.
Yeah,
They asked
I think
him
you
today
give him
who's
that
starting.
game.
They asked him today who's starting. He said he's going to sleep on it. And, like, I think that means he's starting Allen, but he doesn't want to have to deal with the Twitter shit show for the next day and a half until the game of people saying, oh, like, Allen's a starter. I think he's going to announce right before the game Allen starts.
Probably.
Me and my dad have been saying, like, we're like, my dad's more fed up with Price than I am, but, like, I've been saying to him, I would ride Allen until he has a bad game. That way Price can just have a mental reset. Like, today he practiced by himself. He didn't even practice with the team.
Yeah.
But Adam, what about you? Don't count this game. Count from here on.
Count from here on. We're firing Ward tomorrow, and then we're going on a 15-game win streak.
Why 15?
We're never. I don't know. I think there's like, how many games are left?
You're going on like a 30-game win streak.
No. It's half of that. Yeah, we're firing Ward. We're hiring Jerome McGinley. Jerome McGinley's coming from, where is he, in Kelowna right now or something? Jerome McGinley's just going to line them all up and give them a backhand, and we'll be on our way. No, realistically though, I'll be happy with 4 out of 6. If we get 5 out of 6, that'd be even better. But I think if you don't get 4 or 5 out of 6, 2 against Ottawa, 1 against Edmonton, I think you're kind of screwed.
Battle of Alberta, people. Get hyped.
Saturday night. This one's going to have a lot of implications too. Like,
love a good Battle of Alberta.
Me too.
Well, that's it pretty much.
Yeah, we got less than a minute left on the Zoom call, so we'll see you guys next week.
Yep. See you Sunday, boys.
See you guys.
Please start winning games, Montreal.
Yeah, Calgary
Montreal sucks, John.
Get their shit together.